it was a slight joke in the beginning. So I have quite a few friends who are members of the Flyfishers Club, and we have this running joke when we see each other that they should accept women, and when is that going to change? I've never campaigned against it, and I was at the Hay Festival being interviewed, and they asked me about what it's like to be a woman in a male-dominated world still, and I, at the end of that answer, I slipped in that there is a men-only club, and it got recorded, and then it was all over the newspapers without me even knowing.
All right, so here's my first attack on your approach. The Garrick Club changed from being all male to being mixed, to being co-ed, whatever you want to call it, and they did it for the best possible reason. They got lots of very high-level lawyers in there, and the high-level lawyers said, well, I mean, it's obvious, we have to do this, and here's the legal reasons why. Lord Panic, one of the greatest legal minds in the country, said, we've got to do this, and they did it. All the other men-only clubs ignored that advice and carried on as they are. It's the Garrick that's out on its own there.
But do you not think over the years they have been changing? Or is it just that, surely it's not just the Garrick Club?
I think that there have been some changes over the years, but I think there's also been a change. I know a little bit about Club London. There has been a change in how the clubs just have lots and lots of women and men. It seems to me, although some of them have men-only membership, it just doesn't seem to be an issue now, in a way. Okay, that's me pouring some oil on the troubled water. Your go.
So the downfall to the men who are members of the Flyfishers Club who want it to stay men only is that it's a Flyfishers Club. So in 1884 it was set up as a gentleman's club for fly fishers. And, in 2024, fly fishing is one of the most inclusive sports. It doesn't matter whether, it's still quite male-dominated, but it doesn't matter where you're from, gender, sex, anything, orientation, whatever it is. What was the guy, Sam Smith, was saying that he was a fisher then. So it's a very inclusive sport, and if there is a men-only gentlemen's club out there that should be accepting women now, it's the Flyfishers Club in London.
Okay, so it's not, from your point of view, it's not that they must do it, but it's that they should grow up and they should do it.
They should change their policy, and that doesn't mean that they can accept all the women on the list. You have to be proposed, you have to be seconded, you have to have a lunch with the secretary and the the head of Flyfishers.
All the knobs,
whatever,
exactly.
All of them. And it's for, it's for serious fly fishers. It's not just, just because you want to go to London and you want to sit in the Savile Club. You can't just join. You have to be very, very serious and passionate and hold a conversation about fishing. So it's not the fact that they can, once the policy changes, it will mean that every single woman has to join. But there are serious fly fishers out there who are perhaps even more serious than some of the members. So why shouldn't we be allowed?
And they should be allowed to. All right, let's try this one then. The Flyfishers Club is on the top floor of the Savile Club. You've got a lot of very boring elderly male fly fishers who live there. Their food comes up to them on a tray from the Savile Club kitchens, and in a lift. Do you really want to join that?
I don't see the Flyfishers Club as the stuffy club that people talk about. There's more to it than that. I don't think that would affect me, and I would bring friends who are really into fishing with me. And I think that dynamic, that change, would be very beneficial for them. But whenever I go there, I'm more in awe of the club rather than who's in it.
They've got Isaac Walton's creel, haven't they? Or they say they
yes,
have.
and flies as well. Fly box.
I think it's possible somebody sold them up during the 18th century. But anyway, it's a bit like having a piece of the True Cross, isn't it?
Yeah. But interestingly, the Savile Club, so last time they had a vote, it was a committee vote, and the Savile Club said to the Flyfishers Club that if they start accepting women, then that they would perhaps implicate their lease. But this time, did you hear? They're having a members' vote in September, and the Savile Club have said it's fine if you have women.
Well, I think that's very sensible, the Savile Club, because, of course, they risk losing the Flyfishers. The Flyfishers have always been a bit of a footloose club. They've gone around lots of clubs and taken a room. I know clubs that, clubs is a very funny thing. In Britain, it's very difficult to operate a club that has a club within it. We don't do clubs within clubs. In America, that's fine. You start off with your big club and you get smaller and smaller versions as you kind of get to the top of the club. So people don't like the idea of Flyfishers sort of being part of another club. But well done, the Savile, for taking them on. So definitely. I guess that's pragmatic by the Savile Club, isn't it?
Yes.
Does the Savile Club accept women?
No, I don't think so.
They do not.
I don't think so. Does anyone know? I don't think they do.
Have we got any members?
Should we do a vote?
Yes,
let's do a vote.
Okay. Who agrees with Marina that the Flyfishers Club in London should accept women?
Yes!
Yeah, you've got to maintain that by the end of this chat. Who believes with me that the Flyfishers Club should be in charge of its own destiny? Doesn't have to do anything these ghastly women want it to do. None at all. Good.
Can you do that? Put all your hands up.
Okay, just for Marina. There you are. Okay. Right. I'm not going to ask Marina to take a picture because I could just take a picture of any audience. You've all got your hands down. That's fine. All right. Okay, here we go.
It's a tough one to argue
I know.
against.
But look, if I get one hand, I've won. One. That's all it takes.
But apparently so inside information is they've actually told members and recommended that they vote for the change.
They've actually said that, have they? God. I mean, that, again, in clubland, that's a very dangerous thing to do. One thing that clubs really hate, club members hate, is being told what to do by their committees. So anyway, they might, as a result of that, vote against. That I have seen.
Oi, Charlie, shush.
True. All right. What about all the other men-only clubs? Do you want to see them go co-ed as well?
I have no opinion on it.
Really?
It's just the Flyfishers Club that I care about.
So you're not standing outside, not burning a bra, none of that stuff? Oh, pity.
No, I'm not. No, I just think it would be, great to change, like the Garrett Club. Everyone can follow suit now, but I think that the Flyfishers Club is just, it's a Flyfishers Club. And because when it was all online, and I posted it about the sort of media coverage, there was a very well-known instructor, and I won't mention any names, but he said on one of my posts, he said, "Oh, but I haven't asked my partner Karen if I can join her WI classes."
Ooh.
Men can join WI events, but that is ridiculous to say that, right?
Harsh. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, very tough.
Yeah.
Very tough.
So there are, obviously there's people who would prefer it to be a gentleman's club, but I think that then they can maybe join the existing ones.
Did he get into trouble? Or did you get a big thumbs down for that?
No,
one?
I think I got emails about it.
Oh, really?
Being like, I can't believe he said
seen what
that.
he
He's
said?
gone down in my estimation.
Oh, no, that's terrible. Yeah, do be careful, everybody. Exactly. Yeah. All right, so I got involved in one of the clubs recently, and their debate about whether or not to have women members.
Which one's that?
I better keep it secret because I know.
You don't want
not
any
only am I on
campaigners.
the wrong side of the angels, I'm keeping secrets as well. I know it's a bad look. All right, but in that there were certain principles that came into play. One of them, which was the weirdest one, is that it was the younger members who didn't want it much more than the older members.
The younger members wanted it?
No, they wanted no change. The younger
like
members
Fergus.
Is that surprising for you?
Not really, no. Especially, is Fergus here? No.
Is he 18 and dangerously right wing? Is that the problem?
No, he's about 30. He's one of our friends. And no, he's totally anti.
Is he?
Yeah, totally.
I think like Fergus then, exactly.
Yeah.
What we'll call the Fergus effect took place. Yeah, exactly. So that was very interesting.
That's so interesting because it's the other way around apparently at the Flyfishers Club.
Is it really?
Yeah, the majority. Apparently the long existing members do not want change.
It's really the old buffers you'd expect. Yeah, okay.
But I have a question for you.
Go on.
What are the main reasons for not wanting women in a gentleman's club as members?
Okay, so this is the Donald Rumsfeld answer. Do you remember Donald Rumsfeld? He was the extraordinary American Secretary of State who came up with what became known as the poetry of Donald Rumsfeld when he was trying to explain Gulf War II. And one of the things he said is there are known knowns, there are things we know that we know, and there are the known unknowns, the things we don't know. And then there are the unknown unknowns, the things we don't know. And so my answer is it's the unknown unknowns. because if you make a change that radical, what are the unintended consequences when you don't have to make that change, when the change is a social pressure on you from the outside, when, strangely enough, the point of being in a club is it's extremely selfish. You know, you go into a club because it's got great food, cheap prices, cheapest pint of beer in West London. Somebody expressed it in a way which I don't really agree with, but it was a point, so I'll put it to you. That in a male-only club, you are there partly because you want to be there, but you're also there as part of an unseen, unwritten contract with your partner, who may or may not be female, but for the sake of argument is, who is saying, you know, you're going off to your kind of London shed, and that's fine by me. Now, supposing you let in a lot of 40-year-old divorcees, what would happen, do you think, to that relationship, to that kind of sense of, you can do this, darling?
Yeah, I think one of my friends said that the conversation around because women are allowed in the evenings, but they have to be invited and escorted. Whereas at lunch, it's men only. And I think the conversation, if there was a woman at the table, maybe would change, and that's what they don't want. They want to say all the dodgy stuff that they say.
I don't think that.
My friend said that.
It's a very strange thing to say. I don't agree with that. I say when I'm in a boys-only environment, the worst thing we do is start talking like we're still in the upper fourth. You know, that is about it.
I don't know. I'm part of a Flyfishers group, and I was the first female on this Flyfishers group.
They forget.
Yeah, and when the guy who started it up wanted to invite me in, apparently loads of guys were so anti me being invited in and said that the conversation is going to change and we won't be able to post lots of stuff that we usually post. And yeah, so no, that's definitely a thing.
Are there any other bastions within fly fishing that are men only and that should change? Is it just the fly fishers?
I think it's definitely the whole community and industry has changed a lot for the better. More women and sort of, because even 10 years ago, so I've just met a lovely lady in the fishing village, and she went to Russia around 20 years ago, and the people there asked her who she was sleeping with to be there. So that is an example of many comments that goes on like this. And the more women in the sport, the more talk about that. So she probably wouldn't have told anyone, or at least she wouldn't have told someone who would have gone, that's outrageous, like that can't. Yeah. So the more that happens, and the more that it has happened over, let's say, the last 10 years, people don't get away with it as much. And then now men are probably more careful about what they say, which is, you know, I'm all up for a joke, and, you know, we take the piss out of you and you take the piss out of us. But I think it's improved in the way that people aren't so actually rude.
Yeah, okay, I accept that. I mean, I think in the world of clubland, as I say, it seems to me to be in all but name completely co-ed. The only thing is that there are membership restrictions. I mean, there are membership restrictions. You have to be able to afford to pay £1,000 a year to go into a club. That's the point, or £2,000 or £5,000 or whatever it is, and so there's that barrier for starters. Mm-hmm. I'm still not sure I can see a fly fishers. I'm beginning to believe it doesn't really matter, does it? Or are we making too much of it? I mean, you kind of got into this debate by accident in the first place, didn't you?
And also, we don't want a women's fly fishers club in London. I think it's now time that we just, you know...
One of the things that people say in this debate, especially the lawyer who was really calling for the change at the Garrick Club, is it seemed to me they were providing a very, very big solution to a sweeping solution to a very complex problem, and they probably hadn't seen all the issues that could arise from it. And although, as I say, I'm becoming more and more persuaded by your way of thinking, I still think there is... At the heart of it, I am worried that there are bits of this that I'm missing, that I'm too stupid to see the problems. Does that bother you at all?
Because it's a male-dominated world still in fishing, we have women's days, and some people say, but why can't men join on the women's days? We're still trying to introduce and bring as many women in as possible, and for that, I think that a lot of women find that going on a Women's Day with female instructors as well is much easier than trying to figure out how to, participate in the sport without having that Women's Day, the Country Girls UK. There's other ones all around the UK, get into fishing. But then when you talk about something so significant as a Flyfishers Club with all this memorabilia and this amazing place to go and sit and meet other people, I think that those places and spaces should be mixed.
All right, my last go, last chance. So when we were doing this debate about this other club, the younger members used words which the older members didn't understand at all, which I absolutely loved. They said the reason we wanted to stay the same as it is because it's a safe space for us. And you can see all these 55, 65-year-olds going, I don't know what that means. Now, do you accept the safe space argument for men in the Flyfishers Club?
Oh, that's a good one, Charlie. But why can't they have sort of their men-only trips? But just not
they come out of that. Okay,
yeah.
I suppose the trouble is I'm not exactly.
And that's their safe space.
What exactly does a safe space mean? Does it mean you are so fearsome and terrifying they need to be protected from you? Is it that bad?
They can talk about what they want. They don't have to sort of because another member said that they will feel that if they go to the Flyfishers Club at the moment it's men only, so they don't have to tell their girlfriend or their wife that they're going to the men only club where they're not allowed and they get to, but when there's women there they worry that that's going to cause problems at home.
Okay, all right, so
is that the safe space?
Yes, all right, I'll say yes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marina Gibson.